But growth fears are still looming. To Fox Business's Jeff Flock and to Fox News contributor Phil Flynn. Look at you guys together there, huh? Christmas spirit, hanging out, smiles.
Woohoo! It's nice to see that they've released you from your captivity at the White House. That's good.
Yeah.
But
I'm up here and you two are together.
Guys here. Right. The bean guys are still in captivity here. Well, I want to get to that in a minute. That's why we're in soybeans. But first, oil, Phil. And we've got a huge run-up today.
Yeah.
What is that about after this huge sell-off on Monday?
I think common sense coming back to the market. I mean, last week's sell-off, the Christmas Eve massacre for oil prices probably was way overdone. And now we're hearing from countries in OPEC that they don't want this to continue. There could be an emergency meeting. And all of a sudden, a change in the mood, stock market up, oil buying like crazy.
Were people like freaked out going into that, didn't want to be exposed over the holiday?
They really were. I mean, going into the market, the mood, the closes prior to the holiday were so weak, and people were worried about a black Monday, Black Swan event. And they really sold the market off on light volume late in the day. But when you get that late in the day sell-off like we had on Christmas Eve, a lot of times that could be a capitulation. And today's big rally today could be the bottom.
Moving to beans. To say it's quiet over here might be a bit of an understatement. I don't know if you see. This is what happened when China doesn't buy any beans. That's what we learned, is that China bought absolutely no beans in November.
And that was a signal to the U.S. farmers. And most of the traders thought that they'd have to buy beans at some point from the U.S. But they're being a little bit cagey right now. They're looking at the South American crop right now. They're seeing that that's going to be a bumper crop. Right. And even though they're making some purchases now, the traders are saying it's not in big enough amounts to move the needle on supply.
Phil was just talking to some of the traders. And I don't know, come over here, Mike, if you can. These are some of the bean... these are the bean oil traders, and yeah, there you go. There you go. And they say until there's a deal with China, pretty much this market is cooked for America.
They did. Volatility, he was telling us, was near an all-time low. Interest in the U.S. bean market is nil. And he's saying, make American soybeans great again. Get a deal with China. They want to make it exciting here again.
And I leave it right there. Both of these issues, I think, oil and beans, go to the president. Because the economy is strong. We had a great retail sales. We were out in the shopping center on Monday. Huge Christmas. So is it the uncertainty about Washington right now? I mean, the president and, Mattis, all of that stuff.
It is. It is. I've never seen more of a disconnect from the economy and what's happening in the price of oil and what's happening in the price of beans. Usually they go in hand. If the economy is doing good, oil prices are doing good, the economy is doing bad. But we have this disconnect right now, and it's not because of what's happening today. They're fearful of what's going to happen tomorrow, and that's really crushing prices.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, Blake. I know you obviously see it up close and personal in the White House, but it does have an impact on what happens out here on Main Street, if you will. The unsettled nature of what goes on in Washington.
Jeff, can I tell
you?
You
can get back there and straighten them out soon.
This was my favorite segment of the day. Just turned it over to you, let you interview. I just ordered a turkey sandwich. I just had lunch. It was called the wife, checked in. The kids are doing great. I mean, we can just do this all